Look, 2026 is flying by, and before you know it, we'll be sitting there in December filled with regret. Yeah, I go through this every year. But instead, I found 7 Coursera certifications that you need to take before 2027. I'm not stressing you, I kinda am, because you only need a few good decisions to change your life. Taking a course, learning high-value skills, and getting a cert, that's definitely one of them. And these are literally the best certs for beginners, so let's begin. First up is Microsoft Big Data Management Analytics. Now, wow, that sounds complicated. Should we just give up and skip it? No. Not this time. In 2026, we'll take on the challenge. Because big data is a big opportunity, Everything we do generates data, okay? And companies love data because they can track us, learn our behaviors, and sell us stupid shit that we don't need. But back in the days, data used to be surveys somebody just filled out. It used to be like really simple. It could be like spreadsheets. Today, the volume is just massive. Like, can you imagine how much content is on YouTube or Instagram? How do they store this? And how can you search amongst billions of videos? By the way, don't even search, like just go watch my videos. But anyway, what happened was a new field was created to basically deal with all this data called big data. What a surprise, somebody got really creative there. And now Microsoft is letting you jump into the field in just 12 weeks at 5 hours per week. We'll discuss it. Now this course was just released, so it's a completely new opportunity before everybody catches on to it as usual. And basically it starts by teaching you the fundamentals and then how data storage works for big data, because you can't just keep it in an Excel sheet forever. And then data processing, like how we do anything with our data, and then data analysis and machine learning. So who should take this course? That's the important question. Probably somebody who's into data. That's a good idea. Like if you hate everything to do with data, you might not be the right fit. I'll give it a score of, let's say, 7.7 out of 10, and we'll move on to the next one. And that is Microsoft Generative AI Engineer. Now, it's also just been published, making it a very good opportunity to start early. We all know that AI is taking away jobs, that can be scary, blah, 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 but AI is also creating new jobs, such as the AI engineer. Now, yes, this is going to be a little bit techy, but not too difficult. ChatGPT, for example, is built on a large language model. Basically, they've trained their AI model on lots of data over time and fine-tuned it to work as intended. Like basically customizing ChatGPT to be useful and good. And in the course, you're going to learn how to build, fine-tune, and deploy generative AI models using Microsoft's own tools and their platforms. Now, it's only 3 months at 8 hours per week, but yes, you will need some experience. It does require some programming skills. So let's move on to something for complete beginners. 6.5 out of 10. Next up, Google is world famous for its data analyst certificate, its IT support certificate, and so on. But now, they just launched a completely new certificate, and so far people don't seem to have noticed it. I think it's because they don't call it a certificate, they call it a specialization. But you know what? The funny thing is, in a certificate and a specialization, you get a certificate at the end for both things. And it's literally the same thing, just like a little bit shorter. And it's called People Management Essentials, basically HR stuff. Now, you might think HR is the devil, the recruiters throwing away resumes for not using the right font, or having to go through like 15 shitty interviews with the same company just to get ghosted again because they hired the manager's son. Well, if you can't beat them, join them. This course is pretty general and applies to anybody managing people, so it's not only hiring. It goes through how to run a good team, how to achieve goals, grow as a manager, and yeah, super valuable high income skill to be able to lead and manage. Now, it's only 8 hours for some reason, which surprised me a lot, because I don't know if it's still in progress, if they'll make it longer. It just seems a bit too short for a, specialization nowadays. Or my other option is that Google listened to our feedback over the last 2-3 years and made the course really efficient. I don't know, but the reviews look perfect. 8.3 out of 10. Next up is Microsoft Power BI Data Analyst. And in my personal opinion, this is the best data analytics certificate. I'm gonna prove it, and I reviewed it in the past, and that still holds. Now, data analytics comes with high salaries, the option to work from home, and the field is rapidly growing. Basically, it's a decent opportunity if you're into that kind of stuff. But data analytics is also one of the few fields in data where beginners can start with no prior experience. Other data jobs like the data scientist or data engineer ask for degrees, and it's pretty much impossible to get as a beginner. But data analytics is easier. The skills are learnable through self-study and online courses, perfect for us. Now, this course is going to be focusing exclusively on using Power BI. That is a visualization tool by Microsoft where you can create graphs, cool charts, generate reports, basically present your data and make it real. It's a key skill and companies actively look for Power BI in resumes on the job market. And that is why the course has over 400,000 students with a top score rating. Now, I really love the focus on Power BI because most people just learn basics and never go deep enough to master one of the skills. And if you can master one of the skills and you can show really good projects with that skill, that is your entry point. But there's also one problem here, okay? So you'll still need other data skills on your resume or it's gonna look shit. Which is why I recommend taking this course together with another course because this only teaches Power BI. So you get a little bit of SQL, Python, all that stuff as well. 8.5 out of 10. Okay, now I'm gonna try to sell you this pen. There is no pen, but just pretend there is a pen here, right? So Microsoft just released its new Sales with AI Professional certificate. But Lucas, I don't want to get into sales. Oh no, thank you. I don't care, me neither. But this skill will upgrade your life in so many different aspects. If you're trying to land a job, you're selling your skills to the company. If you're trying to get a promotion, you're again selling the idea of working with you more and your skills. So many things in life are based on selling and persuasion, even if you don't work in sales. And this cert is going to teach you sales plus how to integrate modern AI tools into the process, which is pretty useful. Now it comes with 5 different courses: intro to sales, how to reach out to prospects with the help of AI, how to keep track of all your prospects and customers, how to make the process simple and efficient, and finally ethical selling and market adaptation, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Now, obviously, some of these courses are more for actual people in sales, like salespeople, but 2 to 3 of them fit everybody, and I mean it. So I'll give it like an 8 out of 10, especially if you're in sales, but also just for anybody looking to build up their sales skills a little bit and take in some AI skills. Now, next up is going to be a personal favorite of mine, and that is Google IT automation. So don't worry, it's completely beginner friendly, and over 800,000 people have already enrolled with a 4.8 star rating, and it takes 6 months at 10 hours per week. Now, it does say advanced level, designed for those already in the industry, so why do I say it's beginner friendly? That makes no sense, right? Well, I've been around on Coursera for a couple of years, and for many years it actually did say beginner friendly. Google has just recently updated this to prevent confusion with their other courses. Now, the reason why is because it's not like a quick career certificate. It takes a little bit more effort. But if we actually look at the courses, it's for beginners. We have intro to Python, a lot of programming stuff, and then how to use Python to automate real-world tasks. And it's beginner friendly. Now, Python is the #1 programming language. It's extremely widespread and in high demand. And I think what happened is basically Google just realized that for somebody looking to get a job quickly, it's not really the right course. You'll have to take other things to, get a job. It doesn't work that way. And to be honest, the field itself is also pretty competitive right now, so that's worth considering. And I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. Next, moving on. Next up is a perfect one for beginners. It's the Google Project Management Certificate. Now, over 2 million students and a near perfect 5-star rating. It's definitely competing to be the top rated course on the entire platform. And for pretty good reasons. It's beginner level, 6 months at only 10 hours per week. And even if you say, Lucas, I don't want to work as a project manager, I don't want to do that, these skills overlap with literally every job out there. Being able to plan projects, lead projects, execute, actually get shit done. That's how you get hired, how you get promoted, how you build a business, how you do anything. Plus, you might realize that project management is for you, and even with AI, that job has a strong future. There are just so many different moving pieces in a project. So 8.5 out of 10. Now, did you see my video with the best ever certifications? Probably not, because you're busy, but trust me, save 5 minutes for this one and you'll thank yourself in 2027. Goodbye, I'll grab some coffee.